According to the report of the Portfolio Committee, which was later adopted by the National Assembly, there was a predominant view that the captive lion breeding industry did not contribute to conservation and was doing damage to South Africa's conservation and tourism reputation. The Portfolio Committee therefore requested the Department as a matter of urgency to initiate a policy and legislative review with a view to putting an end to the practice. Given that at that time there were a number of other burning issues related to iconic species such as rhino, including escalation of poaching and the rhino horn trade, the ivory trade, threats to leopard such as illegal offtake of damage-causing animals, poorly managed trophy hunting, trading leopard skin for religious and traditional use, the department decided to include these in the terms of reference of the panel in order to get a holistic view of the pertinent issues. It concluded its report on the 15th of December last year and presented it to me in the form of a 600-page report a few days later. The report was subsequently presented to Cabinet and approved for release and implementation.
We also then needed to revise legislation, look at issues of cooperative governance, and look at streamlining legislation. So that was the first set of recommendations. Transformation of the sector. We spoke about a transformation charter, and that we needed to start looking at the biodiversity economy and looking at issues of access and benefit sharing. And then we also needed to make sure that we build our own capacity in terms of technical research and business support for the wildlife sector. Thirdly, on welfare, we spoke about a one welfare approach, which is a concept that is taking traction globally, which starts to look at linking between animal and human well-being and linking that with biodiversity in the environment. And it builds on the One Health and One World approach. So we said, let's look at that. And then also engage DELRAT, because remember, from a legislative point of view, they're also responsible for some of these functions. And that we also recommended that the minister considers delegation of powers for welfare inspections, in some cases to a broader group of suitably qualified people. We need to develop a process for phasing out TOPs and other legislative registration and permits for captive breeding operations. Clarify that CITES captive breeding operation registrations will not be officially supported or approved until the recommendations of option 3 of the Committee of Inquiry, which is the condition that we say that those conditions are met, Minister, and the rhino action plans are fully addressed. And we got a briefing from the department at the time that some of those conditions were being implemented and there was progress on them. So we said, let's allow that process that was already approved by Cabinet and what is being implemented.
For the work it has done in producing a comprehensive and credible report with a set of recommendations which address some of the most difficult issues facing this sector. I'm greatly impressed by the depth of the work undertaken and the level of detail presented.